Morning, gang. Midweek pinball, as usual. So today I wanted to kind of do something a little different. Prepping things to keep an eye out for. Not stuff that you need to go buy or anything like that, but that you can get for free. And when you see it, grab it and store it. Okay. Now, with this video, I'm not telling anybody to go all Sanford and Son and turn your yard into, the local junkyard or anything like that. But came up with about 20 things here that you may see occasionally. I mean, we're coming into garage sale season and things like that, but you may see that you can get for free, and it's just kind of worth having on hand because inevitably, especially if you're homesteading of any sort, you're going to need a lot of this stuff for one reason or the other. Now, the idea came up because a friend of mine gave me a call yesterday, and as you know, building gardens, and he's building his garden beds and stuff like that, and said that he had a connection to get a bunch of free lumber that was, slightly twisted or whatever. Home builder couldn't use it to build homes, so they just had to get rid of it. And he's like, yeah, I'll take it. So he asked me if I wanted some. So we're going to go up this weekend and get a whole bunch of free lumber. Okay. Now, lumber obviously is something that, we need for multitudes of reasons. Okay. I mean, whether it's building garden beds or, you want to build, I don't know, pick something, picnic tables or chairs or sawhorses or whatever, we're always looking for lumber. And, with $7 for an 8-foot 2x4 right now, if I can get some for free, hey, it'll go under the porch, and I've got a stack of lumber that I can use. And if it gets too old, it rots. It either turns into garden soil or firewood. So either way, so lumber was a good one. So, so that gave me the idea of like, oh, okay, what other things do I kind of keep an eye out for? And I thought I'd share them with you guys. Pallets. I think I said this once before in a video. I'm not sure if anybody knew this. 60% of the wood produced in the United States goes to make pallets. That's it. I mean, that's a lot just for pallets, and pallets are thrown out by companies all the time. Okay. There's actually videos online of guys who will go out and collect free pallets, drive them down the street, sell them to another company, and actually make money on it. Okay. It's kind of interesting. But pallets are great wood for projects. I mean, I've built, oh my God, picture frames, furniture, planters, I built a dresser one time out of it. I mean, it's good wood. I mean, it takes work. You got to pull it apart. But if you got that rustic look in your house, you can make some real pretty stuff out of pallets. So that was good. Next one, cinder blocks and bricks. Okay. Can always use this. Lining a garden bed, using them to, as chock blocks, behind a car when you're, got the car up on a jack, behind a boat, whatever it would be. Building a fire pit, one of my plans this year, I want to build a smokehouse, doing something like that. Like I said, lining a garden bed, whatever it would be. Cinder blocks and bricks, great things to have. Okay. Next one, PVC pipe and HVAC pipe, all right? You never know when a piece of plumbing is going to break in your house and you need to fix it. And if you've got the pipe, and again, if we're talking SHTF situation, there is no plumber to call. Okay. So, use PVC pipe to fix your plumbing if you need to. HVAC pipe, again, you can use that to move water. You want to create some sort of rain catchment system. HVAC pipe is nice and wide. You can set that up toward a bucket or a barrel, and you can use that as a water catchment system. Again, good things to have. Metal. Any type of metal you can find, preferably steel or aluminum. Again, like I just said with like HVAC pipe, using aluminum to make a rain catchment, make edges around whatever. Any sort of steel you get, trust me, if you're going to find it, you'll figure out a way to use steel as a tool somehow. Okay. An old brake drum, for example, you can use that to carve trenches with. It's heavy, but you can you'll figure out something to use with pieces of metal. Okay. And if you know somebody who's got a forge or whatever, they can literally start making things with it, i.e. knives, might be a decent idea. So, having good metal around couldn't hurt. Nails and screws. Okay. Even if they're old nails and screws, that you got to, like we all did when we were kids, and straighten out the nails and, use them to build a fort or whatever you were building with. Because you may need to build, some sort of lean-to or whatever, even if it's in your yard, not necessarily for shelter or whatever, but, maybe you need it to store firewood to, keep firewood dry or whatever, many things. But nails and screws, you're always going to need those around the house. And if you can find some for free, grab them that way. Look on Craigslist in the free stuff tab. You'll find all sorts of stuff in there. Some of them are scams. Got to be careful with those. But look in there every once in a while and see what's going on. Like I said, garage sales or whatever it is, you're going to find stuff for free dirt cheap. Here's a can of nails or whatever. I'll sell it to you for 50 cents. Okay. If you go to the store and see what a box of nails cost you, somebody sell you a can of nails for 50 cents, buy it. Okay. Tools, especially garden tool handles. We've all broken a handle on a garden tool. Okay. If you can find spares, great, because your alternative in an SHTF situation is finding a branch and trying to carve out the tool, the handle yourself. You might find old hand tools real cheap, or, discarded altogether. Maybe it's missing a part. Maybe you can fix it, whatever it is. But think of hand drills, hand saws. Who cares if it's rusty? Get a little bit of oil out to it and clean the thing up. If it's free, a hand saw costs you a decent one. It'll cost you 30 plus bucks. Okay. You can get one for free or for a buck or two at a garage sale. Pick it up. Then another one, any sort of hardware like hinges or doorknobs or cabinet handles or something like that. Again, they're metal, but hinges are going to definitely be something you're going to need for a whole plethora of things that you're going to buy. So those are the kind of tool things that I thought about. Now, other things that you can find for free that you may run across and want to grab. Wire. Okay. I don't care what kind of wire. It could be electrical wire, it could be conduits, whatever it would be. You can always use wire for strapping things down, tying things, hanging things, whatever it would be. All right. So, if you find some free wire, grab it. Chain and hooks. They're not going to be pretty. Okay. You're going to find rusted chain if you find some, but we all know the value of having a chain to pull a truck out of a ditch, to haul something heavy, that you've got to move something. If you can find any chain, grab it. Okay. And obviously you're going to need a way to tie something on. So if you can get the hooks for it, the end of it, even if you find the chain for free and you have to buy the hook, okay, go for it. It's still a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a chain. Any rope. Okay. Now, if it's free rope that you're finding, I don't know how, much I super trust it, but any cordage that you can find is always a good thing. And again, for tying things down, even if it's thin little twine or something like that, hey, tying up tomato plants, you're always going to find needs for cordage. We've all got cordage in our bug out bags and our preps. We all know what it costs. Now go out and buy yourself some 1/2-inch rope or some 3/4-inch rope and see what that costs. Okay. If you can find some for free that, construction company, took off whatever it was. I don't care if maybe it's 6 feet long of rope. Hey, it's 6 feet long of rope. You're going to find a use for it. So that kind of covers that topic. Next one, sheets of plastic. Okay. Tarps. We've all got tarps, but you always see big sheets of plastic. You're gonna need plenty of them, okay? Again, to keep your firewood dry, to keep a fire pit dry, whatever. Anything that you want to cover, to put over a broken window, for example, in an SHTF situation, anything like that. Certainly sheets of plastic. You can find those all over the place. Just somebody unwrapped, pick something, a refrigerator, there's this big old sheet of plastic there. Take the plastic. Burlap bags, kind of like the old potato sacks or whatever. Now, I'm not saying like depression and you're going to make kids' clothes out of it, okay? But burlap bags, they'll wrap a ball of a tree. You know, if you buy a fruit tree or something like that, they'll if it's not in a bucket, they'll wrap it in burlap. Burlap is really strong, so it makes for a good bag to carry heavy things. And it also makes a good screen. You know, you can put it over, you know, a window or something like that, and lack of anything else, so you get fresh air through, but not the bugs. You can also use it to as a filter. You know, let's say you're getting water out of the stream or whatever it is. Filter it through the burlap. At least it's going to get the rocks and the chunks out of it till you get it down a little bit less before you purify it. So burlap's good to have. Plastic grocery bags. I mean, we all get these at the grocery store. Most everybody uses them for something. Most of us, it's for taking out trash. Save those plastic grocery bags, and I'll tell you the biggest reason why. If it gets to a point where your latrine is a 5-gallon bucket, you're going to want to be able to have a way to line that 5-gallon bucket so you can go get rid of the waste product. And I'm going to keep it as clean as I can. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But 5-gallon buckets are great, or I'm sorry, grocery store plastic bags are great for something like that. Again, make good trash bags, getting rid of diapers, whatever would be. Okay, so, you know, save those. Get yourself a box and just throw them in there. Buckets and pails. I mean, we all keep 5-gallon buckets of food, okay? But, you know, you're going to need to haul water. You're going to need to carry tools. You're going to need to carry all sorts of stuff around. And, you know, you're not going to walk with everything in your hand like this. It's a lot easier to put a whole bunch of stuff in a couple of buckets and side by side. So another good thing to carry things with. Glass bottles and jars. You're going to need these, okay? We've all got canning jars and everything. But you're gonna need that glassware, if you will, for storing a multitude of things. You know, we talked about yesterday's video and making salves and medicines or whatever. You're gonna need somewhere to store this. So if you find, and I don't care, it can be anything from old soda bottles to perfume bottles to whatever. I mean, if you can find any sort of glassware like that, those are good things to stock up on, because it's a container to hold some sort of liquid that you're going to need. And every time you cut yourself, you're not going to have to want to go make the same salve again. If you make a batch of it, poof, you got it in a bottle, throw it in the cabinet, and you're done. Okay. So that kind of covers containers and stuff. Last one's kind of a random mix here. Cardboard. And I know, you know, everybody's like, well, what would I need cardboard for? Cardboard's great for your gardens. I mean, it's a great ground cover, kill out weeds, do whatever. Cardboard also will make a decent insulator. If you are having to make a shelter of some sort, you know, something happened where you are or whatever, you can use cardboard in between logs or whatever it is, and it will, you know, insulate. You know, again, logs aren't perfectly flat, so if you're trying to build a shelter, you can put that cardboard in, it'll keep the wind out, but makes for halfway decent insulation. R factor isn't wonderful, but it's better than zero. Old tires, okay? Yeah, you can get a couple old tires. You can use these, plant potatoes, plant sweet potatoes. You can use them as planters. You know, some people do it, and it actually, if you do it right, it could look actually nice. But, you know, there's something that you can do with old tires. Wood shavings and sawdust. Here's one that I bet nobody really thinks about. Why would I want to keep sawdust? Well, a couple reasons. If you've got rabbits or goats or whatever it is, you need something, chickens, you need something for bedding, okay? And if you're saving those, you know, wood shavings, you're not going to be able to go to Walmart and buy your bundle of cedar shavings or whatever to throw out in your rabbit pen. You're going to have something. Okay, so, you know, if you find some free wood shavings or you're making sawdust and building up, sweep it up, put it in a bucket and store it. Other thing it's good for, soaking up spills, all right? Chances are, if we're in an SHTF situation and you spill something, you know, you're not going to want to go grab a towel or whatever to mop it up, because then you got to wash the towel, and obviously washing is going to be difficult. So if you can put some wood shavings over the top of it and soak that up and then let the wood shavings dry, you can sweep it all up and you've just got rid of your spill, okay? Last one, any sort of fabric that you can find. Preferably wool, because wool's water resistant and it'll keep you a lot warmer. But you're gonna need to mend clothing and potentially make clothing. So if you find some free fabric, somebody's giving away a bolt of fabric or whatever, grab it and store it away. Who knows what it can turn into? Again, you can use it like a cheesecloth if you have to as a strainer. You can use it to make clothes. You can, make the old hobo bag that you turn over to carry something with. I mean, and if you can find some free fabric, go for it. Even bed sheets and stuff like that, if they're old and ratty, okay, fine. Think about what you're using them for. You can throw them on the ground or throw them over a table when you're working on something to not get the table all dirty, for example, work again as a drop cloth. So I just thought I'd give you a list of a whole bunch of things there that you don't have to go out and buy. You don't necessarily need right away, but if you see them, grab them because they've all got good uses. Keep your ears open. It's like, hey, somebody's giving away, free chains or whatever, pick something. Grab it because you're going to need it. Just don't turn your house into Sanford and Son, like I said. That's what I got for the morning, guys. Have a good one. Pinball out.